Hey there, and happy Wednesday. So today you might be wondering, why am I going to go with a traditional Christmas card? Because it's September, and sometimes we just need to start seeing like some inspiration for ideas, and we need to go, okay, I need to find what I want to do for a layout. I need to find the supplies. I need to order the supplies, get them on hand. I need to purchase them before they go out of stock, because sometimes that happens too. So I feel like it's never too early to get some ideas headed your way, and also it allows me to kind of spread out my Christmas things, because some people are all about Christmas, some people not so much, and so that way it doesn't seem like, oh my goodness, it's a month straight of Christmas, which some people love that too. So I thought I'm just going to sneak in. And you'll be seeing, because I love this suite of products, you'll be seeing lots of inspiration from it. But this is going to be kind of my first initial sneak peek for the Traditions of Christmas Suite Collection. And very simple card today, very simple layout. So let me get my camera turned around for you guys here. And let's see. There we go. Get it focused here on my desk a little bit better. I don't know why it always wants to jump so hot and heavy too, like boom. Oh, look at you guys. Look what's sitting on my desk here. It's a whale, and it says Alaska Stampin' Up. If you haven't heard the news, as of last night, I earned the Alaskan cruise, the incentive trip, for 2 compliments of Stampin' Up, but most graciously because of you guys. So I feel like it's only fitting that I take my marker and just finish coloring in this live with you guys, because for every 2,000 points, and it takes 40,000 points, for every 2,000 I get to kind of color in an area or square. And so I've been watching this last area like a hawk. I had till the end of the month to earn the trip, and it finally happened last night. I'm pretty giddy about that. And so yeah, my family probably is like tired of hearing about it. No, I don't think so. They get very excited for me, with me, so I don't think that is too much of a thing. So pretty excited. It doesn't look quite right. It looks kind of gaudy right now, but it'll dry. Like I always tell people, give Stampin' Blends 5 minutes. So maybe we'll have to just set it aside, and at the end of my video, see if it looks any better. I don't care what it looks like right now. I'm pretty excited. Thank you all again for helping me achieve that goal. It is not an easy goal, and less than 1% of demonstrators earn it. So anyway, let's go on with card making, because I am very excited also about this card, just because for the simplicity, it turns out so pretty. And I love those ooh-ah cards that don't take too much, but really look special, especially for Christmas when you're short on time, but you want to have the ooh-ah impact. So out of the new mini catalog here, you can see some of the paper, and this caught my eye right away, just because of the deep depths that the darker colors give this. I thought, oh, I'm already hooked, and I haven't even opened up the catalog, right? So starting on page 21, the Traditions of Christmas Suite, you'll see some awesome ideas already, and then you'll see more in-depth papers. So the collection has 2 Christmas bundles in it. I'm going to be using Traditional Labels, that bundle today, which some people might call it boring, but it's traditional, like the must-haves, like kind of like yeah, I won't go there. I always say kind of like underwear. You need the basics sometimes, like to make everything else look great. Okay, and I can't believe I just said that. And then the Christmas greenery, I'm going to be coming back with that, because the fun part of the Christmas greenery is that these dies cut out the beautiful images of the cardstock. So some of you are like, oh, I don't like to do that. I like to stamp and color my own, and you can do that as well. And then today on the card, I'm also going to be using the wreath die, the embellishments, the ribbon, and I'll show you in depth the paper. And it goes on to show you even more great layouts for scrapbooking, Christmas cards, and if you're into tags or gift giving, how you can use this suite to give little gifts to people around Christmas time. A lot of times it's like, what can I have on hand for a hostess gift? Well, that's also why it's important to start working on these things in September, so you can just pile them up, and then when the busy season comes, you're set to go. So yeah, so it goes all the way to page 27 in there. So thanks, Pam. Yeah, it is very beautiful. So the whole suite. And let me, because I kind of showed you that there's 2 bundles. Actually, as I get going, I'll show you that. And I'm always like most impressed with Designer Series paper. And people are always like, Belle, you're on the $1 million march. That's a big deal with Stampin' Up. The people that have achieved $1 million in sales, they're out in Salt Lake City right now, getting spoiled beyond belief. And that is the next goal for me is that. And so when you achieve that, you get to design a stamp set. They sit down with you out in Salt Lake City, and then they help you design a stamp set. And people are like, what are you going to design? I'm like, I don't know. I like Designer Series paper. Do you think that they would help me design some special Designer Series paper? I don't know. All right. Hi there, Kathy, and hello, Pam. Good to have you joining in. All right. So as you can see, this pretty paper here, this is probably the biggest piece that I have because I have cut it down for classes and such. So kind of your traditional like plaid greenery on the back side, but then the front side has fun gold foil. There we go. Get some more light on that. So that's what I'm going to be using for today's card. But the other pieces, like I said, it's so fun when dies can just take and cut out some of these little bunches, and you can just have something like similar, like a sentiment, and then just die cut like this type of element out and put that alongside of it. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to do. And then the back side, you guys know how I love blue, so it's got kind of a 2-tone design. And if I don't use this for Christmas, you know, because some people will be like, oh, I have a ton of Christmas paper. I see fantastic die cards coming with this background. It just is so pretty. And then these can all be cut out with a die. So you know how easy it would be to make like how many, like 20 cards on a sheet of this, because it's a die cut and it's got that gold foil to it. It's already colored in. But if you're like, nope, that's not my style, I like this green print on the back too. And then this is gorgeous with the gold foil in there. I always try and not like get it going so your eyes are too much, but just so you can catch the glint of that. And then a beautiful little polka dot. I try to hold that still so you can see the polka dots in focus. And here too, there's dies to cut out these beautiful swags. So that is such a fun idea there. And then the back side here is more of that blue pinstripe, which would be ideal for die cards. This is probably my favorite. And this is what was from the front of the catalog that I just showed you. And then, like I said, if you could just like add the bundle that I'm not using today has some sprigs and such of the spruce. And it just adds those little like details and dimension that make your projects just pop. And then this is fun. I feel like my husband has a shirt. Sometime if I use this, I'm going to be prepared before I come live. Maybe even dress him up, because most people don't even know, probably if you're watching, what my husband looks like. So I think it'd be fun to bring him on wearing the shirt. All right. But this is so pretty. All right. So I've got that. And then let's see, set that aside. So the bundle that I'm using, like I said, there's 2. The bundle that I'm using has traditional labels, and if you just need, like, people love hanging on to their word sets, because word sets like this are just so important to have. Even the just for you, like if you're giving a little gift year-round, birthday, graduation, anything, hostess gift, there again, the just for you, I'm always looking for my just for you. Like I should take on the spine and put like a little dot there for anything that has any stamp set that has just for you in there, because I'm always looking for that. But great for Christmas. And then so that's traditional labels dies. Can't be worded any better. Very traditional labels. So today I'm using this one, and it fits in about that size. So if you want to compare what it looks like on the card to kind of how it fits in with the sizing of the other labels. And then when we have this kind of swirly banner, not swirly, but kind of twisty little banner, that fits in some of these. Well, the best part is you can just lay your banner down, put the words in it to see how it fits, and then put your block on top, and then you'll have a perfect fit. I don't know if you know that hack, but yeah, I've done that several times where it's like, I want this to line up. So I'll put that, and then I'll just put my little wavy words in there. And so I know it's going to fit. Then when I put my acrylic block on top, the stamps stick to it, and it's this shape. So that's good to know. So those are the traditional labels. And what's best, you don't have to wait for Christmas or only do it for Christmas. It can be for all sorts of occasions too. All right. And then the other thing that I'm using is the traditional. You'll hear traditional a lot. So we've got the traditional labels, stamp set, traditional labels dies, traditional wreath 3D embossing folder. So let's see, I have done that ahead of time. So you can see that here, 3D. So we get some nice, nice sturdy design imprinted on the red cardstock there, and nice large size there. So that is part of the suite. And oh, the ribbon. Let's not forget the ribbon. This is pretty, and I don't ever know how well like ribbon picks up. It's got a nice shimmer shine, like not too glitzy, but just nice for that. I love this type of ribbon, and I love it when it's special for the holidays. But I'm always like a sucker for buying anything that's red ribbon, cherry cobbler, any shade of the Stampin' Up! Red ribbon, because if I don't use it for Christmas, the next holiday that I start gearing up for is Valentine's, and so I usually just leave that red ribbon right out, and it gets used up so fast. And then another thing that people have loved are these traditional, there's the word again, sparkling sequins. And so these are nice because they are, let's see if I can get it in the camera. I can hardly, they're so flat that you can hardly see how flat they are, how tall they are. So these are nice embellishments for your Christmas design. It's not going to bulk up. So if you're like me, send out a Christmas card and you want to put a letter or maybe a photo in there, you can have things like this decorate your card because it's not going to add too much fluff and bulk for the post office, right? So we've got that. All right, so let me put together this card for you. I'm glad it's a quick and easy card. Today is Clean Out the Gutters, Power Wash the House Day. And it's such a good feeling, but like any task, it's been on my like fall cleaning list. And today my hubby said, would you like me to put the power washer in our Ranger, and then you can just drive the Ranger around the house as you move, so you're not hauling the hose like so hard or whatever, like, because things sometimes just, you know, they're heavy, and I used to think it was strong, but I feel like I'm getting weaker. And so he's got it all set up for me. He already cleaned out the gutters. So I'm like, oh my goodness, like, why wouldn't I just jump on that? So as soon as I'm done going live, posting the card, that's what I'm going to do. And it'll be so nice because I have stamp camp tomorrow here in my home. And then like, hopefully everything will be dried off and it'll look sparkly. Well, as sparkly as a house on a farm gets, right? Okay, so here's the card I'm going to put together quick for you. Now, the other thing that is unusual, but not totally out of the ordinary, when I saw this paper, you can see all the deep reds. It's kind of got a watercolor look, so it's got a lighter and darker wash to that, but the colors of Real Red and Cherry Cobbler are in there together. Sometimes I can go, okay, I'm not going to use these together because they could clash, but my stamping friend and peer, Celine Kempton, she did this card. I'm casing my card from her, changed up just a couple things, but not much. And she kind of said that same thing, like, these are not normal cards, but not too long ago, like earlier this year, we had that beautiful Valentine's suite with all the gold foil and the water wash, and it had both Cherry Cobbler and red for Valentine's, and that was so gorgeous together. So I did use these colors together. I feel like Valentine's is a time when you can always put reds together, and if it looks gaudy, it's Valentine's, and for Christmas, if you do it in a rich way, like it can be okay too. So I think the cherry cobbler gives a nice, rich, deep background for our cardstock here. And then the Real Red with that embossing folder is going to be next. So I'm just going to put that on, and I always want to get really close to the edges here when it's my 3D folders, so that it sticks really well and doesn't bubble up. And then my card today is going to be opening this way, kind of that landscape opening, and I'm going to go like so. Some people ask, okay, how do you know if you want, you know, your card to go like this, like versus, you know, this, do you want it, whatever? Well, as you can see, sometimes when you add your accessories and different things, a card like this might want to start to go like that. So I always make my cards like, if I want it to open up like that, I don't want it to fall over. So I always put the crease at the side for how it will be standing. So I know a lot of demonstrators do it the other way, and sometimes it's like, oh, with the way the ribbon's gonna go on, it almost has to go that way, and I get that too. But that is my why behind that. Okay, and then the next part that I'm just going to plot together really quick is this little piece. Normally I do 3x4 when I have this size of focal point kind of for the designer series paper, and then it uses up exactly a 12x12 sheet. But then this also comes in 12x12, and my design here has the metallic, like distress metallic, I think, gold foil, and it comes in like 3 different color tones, like the coppery and everything, and it has like a little distress to it. And then I had some of this on hand, so I always like to kind of like experiment and do different things, like which do I like better. I like them both. And I also like to show you that on my videos, because maybe you don't have this but you have some of this, so nothing's wrong, you know. We love to use up supplies, or just show you what there is out there too, so that's good. So I wanted to be as useful as I could without having a lot of waste, so I thought, well, let's go with, you know, the other 12x12 and make sure that gets used up, and I'm fine with having a few scraps of this versus having to cut this 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, which then you have a lot of extra unusable of this. So that's my reasoning why. But if it wasn't specialty paper, I'd be like, no big deal. So that's why a lot of my 12x12, I do the full 3x4. And then if I'm backing it with a solid cardstock color like Real Red or Cherry Cobbler, that's easy to do with 8.5 by 11, because then you're cutting it 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and it's a very nice measurement to come out. If you like doing the math, remember, I like doing the math. Okay, so let me just get some adhesive on there, and I'm going to put it this way. And this adhesive sticks really well. Some people ask, like, okay, do I need any special adhesive to put it on that like rough, kind of almost like sandpapery type glimmer paper? No. The other question I get asked a ton, because the glimmer paper has a white background, people are trying to like pick and poke at it thinking it's a sticker. It does look like a sticker. It's not. So for this, I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here on the bottom edges of it, and then eventually some dimensionals. But now we're going to pull over that shiny red ribbon. And let me get my ribbon cutting scissors here, the one that so far I've gotten to stay sharp. The other day I found, guys, in my stash a brand new extra scissors. I have it in my tote to sell because Stampin' Up! Currently doesn't have any snips. So if you think you'll be seeing me in a class, know that that's like a hidden treasure in there. And if not, I might have regrets, and I might pull it out for myself just so that I have it. So kind of jump on it before I change my mind. Okay, my little segue there as I put my ribbon on. So yeah, no tying of bows. It's just securing that back there and then having that go across the front of the card. I hope it's not crooked. There we go. And then I'm just going to take, and in the 4 corners, I'm going to put a dimensional on each corner. I'm not going to go in the middle, because in the middle I'm going to add that sentiment, and that's going to be popped up too, and I don't want that extra bulk on top of each other for going through the postal service. Okay, so now we've got that. Look how pretty that comes together, super quick, right? And ahead of time, I've already cut from that traditional labels die, and you can see, hopefully, the extra little stitching in there. I don't know if that shows up well, but there's like dot stitch type thing on there, so that's really pretty. And then I'm going to take the cherry cobbler. I thought just bringing kind of the coordination of the card base and that rich color, and from that stamp set, I put together the Merry Christmas on the same block, so that makes it easier to line up, less risk, at least for me, to have it get crooked if I'm stamping it 2 different times. And then because this looks like it could be a little wet, let's go and embellish that before I put anything on to adhere to my card. And we've got lots of choices here, but because the card's mostly gold and red, I'm going to take a gold little traditional embellishment here, take a small red one. We're going to dot the I on Christmas in a fun way. And then let's grab a large sparkly red, put that up here, and then let's go with a small gold, put that kind of up above like so. So kind of adding the little Christmas balls on there, and now this is going to be tipped over, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back side of this. Like I said, you could put on your Hallmark movie while you're doing this type of card, because it doesn't take a lot of concentration either while you're doing that. Oh, there we go. Okay, and then this can go, the nice thing about doing this type of thing is, like, I'm just putting that little edge piece right above the ribbon, so I know it's going to be centered that way. So we've got Merry Christmas. Like I said, how fun to have that sparkle. Doesn't that just look fun? And like I said, anything that you can make several of, like in a assembly line pattern, is always good. Just going to pull out the Sending Love and Joy from that same stamp set, stamping that out in Cherry Cobbler, and I'm going to add some adhesive to the back. And then this is just my standard 4 by 5 1/4 measurement for that, and I'm not going to do anything else for the inside. So there we have it. So like I said, quick and easy inspiration for you guys. Whoops. There we go. Almost thought I like added something to my video. I didn't, because it wasn't turning me around right away. So yeah. And tomorrow I have Stamp Camp. I have like 3 more spots that people can fill that I'm ready for, if that works in your schedule, here in my home, 1:30 till 8 o'clock. So it's a come and go thing. You don't have to be here at 1:30. Just don't maybe show up at 8 o'clock. So anyway, and for those of you just joining in, thank you again for helping me achieve my goal of the Alaskan cruise, the Stampin' Up! 2026 incentive trip. It's a big deal. It's like my 10th one in a row, and I was really nervous this year that just wasn't going to happen, and I can't make it happen on my own. So thank you for everybody that helps me achieve that goal and dream. So take care, and I hope to be back here for some inspiration for you guys again on Friday. See you then. Bye-bye.